Who will shape the global order of the 21st century? And is the rivalry between the United States and China merely an economic competition? Or is it a strategic contest that will determine the future structure of the world? This book begins with these profound and essential questions. I argue that what we are witnessing today is not simply a conflict between two countries, but a strategic game that will influence the architecture of the global system. For much of the late 20th century, the structure of global power appeared relatively clear. The rules were established and the hierarchy was known. After the Second World War, the United States emerged as the central force shaping international institutions, global security alliances, and the financial system. The US dollar became the dominant global currency, and American military alliances created a vast security network across Europe and Asia. However, the 21st century introduced a dramatic shift in the balance of power. At the center of this shift stands the rapid rise of China. Since the economic reforms that began in 1978, China's economy has expanded at an extraordinary pace, transforming from an agrarian society to a global giant. Within a few decades, China became the world's second largest economy and the largest manufacturing nation, reshaping global trade patterns. Today, the competition between the United States and China extends far beyond trade disputes. It now includes technology, military power, and financial influence. Supply chains and geopolitical strategy have become key pillars of this rivalry, as both nations attempt to secure long-term strategic advantages. The struggle for leadership in semiconductors, artificial intelligence, space technology, and advanced manufacturing has become increasingly intense and critical. I describe this confrontation as the final game between the United States and China. This game is not simply a military conflict. It is a structural competition involving economic systems, technological innovation, alliances, and global influence on a massive scale. History shows that major transitions in world order are often accompanied by rivalry between great powers as they vie for dominance. In the 19th century, Britain dominated the global system. In the 20th century, the United States emerged as the central global power. Now, the world may be entering another historic transition. However, I must emphasize a point that is often overlooked in current discourse. The outcome of this competition will not be determined by military strength alone, despite the focus on defense budgets and naval power. Technological leadership, economic resilience, financial networks, and diplomatic alliances will all play crucial and perhaps decisive roles. Consider the semiconductor industry. These advanced chips are the lifeblood of the modern world, powering everything from AI to smartphones. Advanced chips power artificial intelligence systems, military equipment, smartphones, data centers, and the modern vehicles we drive every day. Control over semiconductor technology therefore represents one of the most critical strategic advantages in the modern digital world. The United States currently maintains significant leadership in advanced semiconductor design and manufacturing technology, but the gap is closing. At the same time, China is investing enormous resources to achieve technological independence and reduce reliance on foreign supply chains. Another crucial battlefield in this competition is artificial intelligence. AI technologies are no longer just concepts, they influence our daily lives. AI technologies influence economic productivity, military planning, and information control, making them essential for future sovereignty. Countries that lead in AI development may gain powerful advantages in both economic growth and national security over the coming decades. Military dynamics also reflect the broader strategic competition. We see this most clearly in the rising tensions across key maritime regions. The South China Sea and the Taiwan Strait have become focal points of geopolitical tension, where naval power and alliances are tested. Naval power, aircraft carriers, and regional alliances are shaping the balance of influence and deterring potential conflicts in the region. Yet I argue that this rivalry does not necessarily lead to direct war. Great power competition is often managed through careful deterrence. Both the United States and China understand the enormous and catastrophic risks associated with large-scale military conflict in the nuclear age. Therefore, the real question is not simply who wins or loses in a traditional sense. The deeper question is who will design the structure of the world. The central insight of my work is clear. The competition represents a strategic contest over the architecture of the 21st century global system. Military capability remains important, but technology, economic networks, and alliances are becoming equally, if not more, decisive. The key message can be summarized in 3 points. First, the US-China rivalry is not just a trade dispute, but a competition over global order. Second, technological leadership and economic structure are becoming more important than traditional military dominance in the modern era. Third, the future world order may emerge not from total victory, but from a complex balance between major powers and regional blocs. Readers can gain three important insights from this book. They can begin to understand international politics not as isolated events, but as shifts. They can recognize why technology and supply chains have become central elements of national strategy for any country seeking prosperity. And they can reflect more deeply on how these global power shifts may shape the world they and future generations will live in. The Rivalry is not just a headline in the news, it is a historical process that may determine the direction of the global future for decades to come. The outcome of great power rivalry is decided not only on the battlefield, but in the design of the future world order. This is our challenge. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. Thank you very much for your time, and I sincerely wish you all the best.